I'm almost 39 years old. I'm not real tech savvy, so I need help with that. I get treated like shit because I don't know how to do those things. Like, I couldn't take screenshots before Natalie died. I had to take that stuff in person. I brought that computer with me to show Natalie the day that she was supposed to meet me at Starbucks, and I wanted to meet at the police station. I wanted her to see what they were doing, and I wanted the police to see what they were doing. But all I could do was take the computer in person. There's a child abuse case in Sidney, Nebraska. I found out about the abuse after I left Nebraska. And I sent the guy my info and all the screenshots, and they just didn't go through. They didn't go through to the police department. He couldn't open them. So I had to make a YouTube thing where it's unlisted, but where he could basically see me scrolling using this camera, because it's all I could do. I couldn't send them individually to him. He didn't receive them. Like, I have to do it in person, and when I do it in person, I'm having a fucking panic attack because I'm having to talk to the police and they have not been listening. Their fucking protocols suck. I needed an officer to do his fucking job. When I went to Joseph Lopez's arraignment just before court, I made a video about how I was there to take those cops to court. I was there to fill in a report about them. And when I got into the courtroom, I was the first one in. And then her grandma and her grandpa came in, and a camera lady was there. Maybe it was a cameraman, I don't remember. I just remember the camera. And I remember them taking a picture of Miss Peaches and how pissed off she was because they put her family at risk. So I sat down, and a bailiff came out and said something to Natalie's grandparents, and then he came over and he spoke to me, or she, sorry, asked me if I was with the family, and I said no. So they had me sit on the other side, and I did, and I kept my mouth shut. And then her family started pouring in, and they're talking over there. Is that him? Is that him? Is that him? Yeah, it's me. Natalie was somebody I cared about too, assholes. You don't like the mean things that I said? Well, imagine that people were saying those things to me quite frequently. For over a year before she died, matter of fact. You don't like it, why should I? So then Ted came in, and he started screaming about me being a child molester and fucking shit like that. And it wasn't cool. And he was calling his daughter a little girl. I'm like, dude, she's an adult. I didn't say that. I was keeping my mouth shut, but she was an adult. She can be friends with whoever the hell she wants to be friends with. When we weren't friends, she should have left me alone. I didn't deserve all of this over her heroin habit, and her sister having an argument over a boy in 2016. I mean, this is not something that any human being should have to deal with. So then Alicia came in, and it almost sounded like she was laughing. I don't know if she was laughing or crying. But it was right after her dad was doing all that rambling, standing behind his family and 6 bailiffs to do it. And some of the bailiffs went out to the back, and they had themselves a conversation, and They had one prior to Ted showing up, too. They had one when I showed up. But, because of Ted's screaming and calling me those terrible things, and throwing a tantrum, I couldn't do it. I would have been escorted out immediately. Ted wasn't escorted out. You know, I was there to put that paperwork on Ted Bollinger as well, and Alicia. That's the thing, is that I needed to get an honest day in court, and that's what I've been trying to do the whole time. All of my resources going to appeasing the government for the things that they did. All of these people are government officials, the police, the bailiffs, all of them. The judge, public pretenders. So then, her family is all over there talking about me, and I'm just keeping my mouth shut still. I'm there for a purpose. I got to keep my eyes on the prize. But I did ask the bailiffs to write a report about Ted's outburst, about him being that way in the courtroom. And they refused. And then Detective Mark Peterson came in. He heard them talking about me, and he's had something to the effect of, you know, basically that I get off on it. Like, no, dude, I'm being harassed and assaulted by the fucking public. I have Natalie's friends and family harassing me and threatening my life, and nobody will do a damn thing about it. Oh no, you have to call internet this for that. You need to call the FBI for that. You need to call the... And everyone sends me to somebody else. It's nobody's job. But anyway, we had court. I was still being quiet, not saying nothing. And the court proceedings went on. Joseph Lopez pled not guilty. And Detective Peterson was talking about the FBI getting involved in opening Natalie's phone. I was super excited then. I'd already been trying to get the FBI involved. I'd called them repeatedly. I even tried going in person, and that's the thing, is that I needed help doing that. I had all of that evidence right then and there. I just needed help finding the fucking place. Instead, I'm listening to Teresa Orne telling me about her dead husband, and yeah, I feel bad for her. But hey, I am in the middle of a crisis here, and I need you to leave me alone and stop being demanding of my attention. A lot of times people are overly nice. Like, please stop. That's unnecessary. You don't have to tell me that you're leaving 10 times. I heard you the first time. Yes, I heard that you have food. Thank you. Thank you again. Thank you again. Anyway, I suppose I should get back to the court proceedings. After that, I wanted to be the last one out of the courtroom, too. So I remained seated while Alicia and her family and Ted and all them filed out. And I waited a minute or two before getting up and leaving myself so that I could go take care of that paperwork. And as I got up, the two bailiffs, they came over, and one of them was a woman, one of them was a man. They were very rude and hostile towards me, told me to sit down. Like, what the fuck, dude? What the fuck? So I waited for a couple of minutes, and then 4 of them escorted me to the elevator, and the other 3 escorted me to the front door so I couldn't make a report. That was Joseph Lopez proceedings for me, other than asking the police to take a report about Ted and his outburst in court. I didn't speak. Kara Johnson Miles was playing go-between with me and Rochelle. Rochelle and I were going to try to have coffee while she was in Colorado. And that's when Kara Johnson Miles got busted. Shannon Alvarado sent me the stuff that she'd been putting in these other chat rooms. It showed me that Kara Johnson Miles isn't an autism advocate. She's not. She's not trying to be helpful. She was trash talking me like everyone else and trying to get my Facebook shut down. I got that in screenshots in her own words. And I sent them to her, and she immediately went after Shannon Alvarado and was mean to Shannon Alvarado for exposing Kara Miles, aka Kara Johnson. See, the drama hounds like Kara Rogers and Kara Johnson, these were people who got me in contact with Natalie's family, or that I was in contact with because of Natalie's family. And they were people who were supposed to help. Without a safe environment, it doesn't make any difference. I was prevented from writing the reports that I needed to that day. If you guys want me to do something over the internet, you literally need to sit down with me and teach me. I've been trying this stuff. I have to do unorthodox things. Now that child abuse case in Nebraska, he's asking me to come in person with that telephone. I was trying to report that abuse last year. Or, as soon as I heard about it. And, all the stuff that I had been dealing with last year, too. I was trying to show those cops then. While I was there in person with all of the evidence before, it was scattered to the four winds. Stolen by homeless people. Stolen by police. Stolen by tow truck companies. And it is stolen. These things needed to go to someone. Someone needed to look at these. At least one public pretender needed to look at this shit. At least one. At least one police officer needed to look at all of this. At least one FBI agent needed to look at all of this. How is anyone supposed to function through all of this with all of their money being taken away? Between making a police report and living in a meth head's house, which one would you prefer? I'm in a very scary situation, and I am more afraid to talk to the police by myself than I am of fucking something going wrong because of shit that I don't even mess with. I don't drink, I don't fucking take pills, I don't fucking shoot heroin, I don't do meth, I don't do cocaine, I don't mess with none of that. I tried to send stuff out to people who sent me their emails, and they're like, you didn't send me anything. Same thing with this officer. I finally had to send him a link to a YouTube page. An officer in Nebraska. I sent him a link to my YouTube page so he could see it. I mean, it's not my fault that I had these technical issues. I try to work past them best I can. And sometimes that's just holding the camera up and doing this. And if it's on a computer, scrolling down with the mouse. And yeah, it's pretty quick. You have to pause every couple of seconds, or every second or so even. I mean, you got to be a fast clicker to read everything. Some of those are 5 minutes long of me scrolling, pausing for half a second, and scrolling. That way there's an overlap so you can see everything. But it's difficult. Like, how do you get somebody to look at that? They look at that and go, man, I'm not going to fucking do that. Like, I know, but it's the only way I can send it to you. Well, you should do this and you should do that. Are you going to sit down with me and show me how to do all of these things you're telling me to do? Are you going to show me how to do that? Are you going to give me the means to do those things? Are you going to donate the money for me to do these things? I've been living off of other people's money for 2 years. I had my disability taken away last year. Like, I was getting my disability money, but all of that disability money was going to go to court date to court date to court date. How am I supposed to start another court date to take these people to court when I don't have the time or money or resources to go to the court dates I already have to go to? Meanwhile, I need the cops to look at this stuff. And people are like, you need a lawyer. I know I need a lawyer, but because of my communication issues, I need someone there with me to keep me calm. Because when I am fucking around fucking cops because of the bullshit that they pull when there's nobody else around, yes, I am scared shitless of the fucking cops. At the same time, I am desperate and I need them to look. Yes, I'm suicidal all the time. That's no reason not to look at the fucking evidence. I'm suicidal because of the things that have happened to me. And the pretty words that people say that are so fucking dismissive because they're not going through it. It's just drama to them. After their drama destroyed lives, Kara Johnson's drama should not have been there. I should have been able to speak to Miss Shelley directly. Instead of having that woman going in between us and fucking pulling the bullshit that she did. Alright, Miss Shelley should not have made the promises that she made. Her friend Erica never showed up. Alright? That Kara Johnson Miles lady was not an autism advocate. A lot of these people are not who they said that they were. And they did not do the things that they said that they would do. And that's the point, is that I was trying. Without people understanding that I am overwhelmed and can't do this myself, I have no reason to live. Alright, 39 years of being treated like this is too much. Worked like a fucking dog for minimum wage, and I did that for a lot of years. I did the best I could. When I was injured, I recovered behind a dumpster. When I had the flu, I recovered wherever I could find that I wasn't exposed. And most of the time, I didn't get that. Having to travel all the way to the warming centers and homeless shelters after I hurt my back, are you kidding me? That makes me hurt so terrible. Making that walk to Miss Peaches so I could catch a ride to meet Natalie at her request. Yeah, that walk killed me. I had just gotten off of the cane. I just put the cane down that day to make that walk to see Miss Natalie to put an end to this. And the people who have seen the evidence, why aren't you doing something with it? Why aren't you sending it in? I'm telling you, I don't know how. Fucking teach me. Alright, I'm asking you guys to do it because I fucking can't. I've been trying.